from Lincoln Financial Field. Shady, you spent a lot of your time there, your jersey forever etched and hung up in the rafters, so you know this better than anybody. Has anybody closed the gap on the Eagles?
You know what's crazy, man? I always look to, when I watch the Eagles, right, and you see the highlights, they're at practice, they're playing hard. I always look for, is that 25 jersey? Just to see if it's going to be out there.
It ain't out there.
And every time I just can't find it, man. Like, where's Waldo? I'm going to say no. I look at a lot of these teams, man, they get some draft picks, right, free agent signings, and I don't think so. As I look at the last couple of years, since the best record since 2022, you got the Chiefs at 40 wins, 11 losses, and the Eagles at 39 wins, 12 losses.
Good teams.
And we beat them by a lot of points. I just don't see anybody, catching us. I thought the Bills could maybe do some different things in free agency and draft picks, and they didn't do that. The Lions, right? You lose your coordinator, maybe you bring in some more. I didn't see it. So to ask me if you're getting closer to the champs, I think we are better. I think the guys that we lost, we replaced. We're still young. You got something what you think. I mean, we were so good, I felt like we didn't need to draft anybody. And we got a hell of a play.
What?
I'm being honest.
Have you seen how many defensive starters you've lost? You had to go all defense, which is how we did.
I'll just tell you this, man, and I hear you. The backers that we do have, I feel comfortable about them. That's why we didn't bring no other cornerback in.
I like it.
Right? Ringo, we're going to go with Ringo. And I also think that we are so good right now that we didn't really have to draft anybody.
Well,
you'll see when the game comes.
The people that they drafted, the Eagles hit on.
You earned the right to talk like that.
We the champions. But before you go to if you just look at, not even us being the champs. Not even bragging about the champion stuff we got. Not even worrying about that. But if you look at this, the rosters, though, you telling me if we didn't go out there and just to draft some players and all that, we still won't have a top 3 roster in the league?
Well, the beautiful part is it's irrelevant because they did.
Yeah.
And the players that they did draft, they hit on.
Yeah.
The Eagles had a few vacancies, and nearly all of their vacancies they filled. McCoy Becton out the door playing for the Chargers now. They traded Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. They acquired a player in Green who will likely start at right guard. Nakobe Dean, he's hurt. He messed up his knee at the end of last year. Well, Oren Burks stepped up, had double-digit tackles in the Super Bowl. Problem, Oren Burks, he's gone on to the AFC North. Insert Jahad Campbell, linebacker, first-round pick out of Alabama.
I just had dinner with him last weekend.
Oh, great player. Great player.
Great player.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, he's out the door, went to the Texans in a trade. Insert Andrew Makuba out of Texas to start at safety. Yeah. So the players that the Eagles lost, they have instantly replaced. The only one that you haven't yet is Darius Slay, but remember, you got a Georgia cornerback, national championship in Ringo, who's been in the league for a couple years now.
They added Adoree Jackson.
Yes. But even still, and I believe he'll probably be a depth player, still trying to figure out what Adoree at Jackson, where he's at this stage in his career. But nonetheless, everybody they lost on a championship team, I believe you've replaced with championship caliber players, with championship caliber talent, with championship caliber ability. So I don't think anybody's closed the gap on the Eagles. The Eagles beat the Commanders by 55 to maybe 31,
it's something like
21.
That. It's something like
atrocious.
That.
They beat the brakes off the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Shout out to Xavier Worthy for late touchdowns. Beat the brakes off the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Eagles beat everybody down. So I don't think anybody's closed the gap, Chase.
So
yeah, Chase.
When you say close the gap, we're just talking about 1 year?
Yeah.
Right? So you don't think the Chiefs or the Bills or the Ravens can't compete with the Eagles? You think the Eagles are that much better than everybody else? Because that's what I got out of this question is there's a huge gap. Do you think there's a big gap?
I'll say 10 points. 10-point gap between all those teams.
Okay, so I don't think there was a perceived gap at all, especially between the Chiefs and the Eagles. I understand you can say all you want about they beat them down and stuff, and they did. And they deserved to win. They were easily the best team, one of the best teams we've seen really in the last 5 years. Just top to bottom, offensively, defensively. Let me go to the Philadelphia Eagles defense. You said the guys they replaced. Okay, they lost a lot of stars. They lost a lot of key players. Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham, Milt Williams got a huge deal in New England. Thought he was a good player. Shady, I got it. Darius Slay, one of your leaders back there. James Bradbury, obviously hurt. C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I understand you're getting players, but you can't always count on rookies to come in and hit on draft picks right away. Now, if anyone could do it, it's Howie. Because I believe that Howie drafts better than probably anyone other than Brett Veach that we've seen. But for me, it's the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs and the Eagles are right there. You can't discount what Patrick Mahomes has done his first 7 years as a starter. He's been to the Super Bowl 5 times. He's won 3 of them. And the other 2 years, he's lost in the AFC Championship game. So at worst, he's in the AFC Championship game. He's probably going to meet the Eagles in the Super Bowl again, would be my guess. You can't discount them at all. And when you look at the last 3 years, and that's what we did, right? The Chiefs 40 wins, Eagles 39. the playoff record for the Chiefs, 9-1 in the last 3 years. And the one loss, obviously, was the Eagles. They beat them in 2022 in the championship. So I don't think there's a huge gap. Like, do I think the Eagles roster right now is better? Yeah, but we're forgetting about Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid.
Oh, we didn't forget about them.
No, I'm just saying, by the way you guys are talking a little bit, it's like they're great, and I don't think there's a huge gap. Obviously, like, the top of the mountain right now is the Eagles.
They are great.
But I don't think there's a gap.
They're great. Andy Reid's the best coach of all time for me, right? And Patrick Mahomes, he's in a GOAT conversation. He's still playing.
No doubt.
So we're not taking anything for
There
that.
you go.
But all that stuff you just said and all that, they did get spanked on. I haven't seen anybody whip them like that.
No doubt.
Have you ever seen anybody whip them like that?
No.
The only time I've seen them get whipped like that is with the Bucks.
Yeah.
When they played the Bucks, I was on that team. Guess what? Both of their starting tackles were out. So we knew they were going to get pressure.
And it wasn't even like that, 2-5.
Man, and I ain't never seen nobody make Pat look regular like
Yeah.
that. So as much as we talk about all that stuff they did in the past, and he is a great quarterback, we watched the Super Bowl all together.
And I just think one game isn't mean there's a
Not
huge
like that,
gap.
though. That was
the one game.
And I mean, we're talking about closing the gap. I don't think the Kansas City Chiefs did anything this year to close the gap.
They didn't have to.
When I watched that, no, you did have to. Because when you watch that
Offensive line
game,
play.
what's the game plan if they play the Eagles right now with the same people? You can't block them. Jalen Carter and them. Yeah, okay. Everybody trying to block the Eagles.
Block 'em.
They can't. I think, to be honest with you, and I'm not even going to sit up here and disrespect the Chiefs because they keep going back.
They're great.
They're a great
Respect
team,
them.
but I don't think they're built to beat the Philadelphia Eagles if they play the Eagles again. I just don't. The only team that I would go with that said that closed the gap a little bit is the Rams. The Rams.
That's a good one.
The Rams took the Eagles at
match
home
up
down
well
to the wire. If they pick up a protection, who knows how that game would have went, right? You have a very good defense about to play together again
Young
this year.
core
You'll get
defense,
better.
yeah.
A really young core.
Hopefully.
Then you add Devontae Adams in the mix with Puka Nacua
Correct.
with the running game.
Yes.
I think the Rams have closed the gap a little bit, and you can go quarterback for quarterback. Matthew Stafford, Jalen Hurts, they can go at it. So I would say the Rams have closed the gap
In
a
the
little
NFC.
bit in the NFC, trying to compete with them. But everybody else, to be honest with you, especially, I mean, the Chiefs got to show me something when they play the Eagles again because I don't think they match up too well with the Eagles, especially in them trenches. They don't. But I would say the Rams closed the gap a little bit with what they
That's a good
added
one.
too.
That's
And
a
then you
good
had a
one.
really good tight end too in the draft.
And they get Devontae, bro.
That's the thing.
I like the
I mean,
Rams.
the Eagles are good.
Super team, bro. Like,
Eagles
like
are good.
legit.
And when you really think about it offensively, one starter gone, Becton, and that's a starter who was a starter for 1 year, and
Yeah,
he
they'll
was
be
a
just
castaway.
They'll be fine.
The Becton was a castaway from the Jets. So offensively,
Eagles stay healthy, they're
you
a
great.
problem.
The biggest thing is, like, how do you stop Saquon? Like, I just don't, you can't.
Correct.
And then if you eight, nine maybe 9 in the box, Jalen's got one-on-one matchup
Correct.
outsides, which he's
Correct.
shown he can throw the deep ball.
Correct.
And so it's just like what. Pick your poison.
Because to James's point, to your point, the Chiefs stopped Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
As much as you can hope to stop Saquon
everything that
Barkley.
you wanna stop.
As much as you can hope.
100%.
And
A.J.
Jalen
Brown and
Hurts and
Smitty.
A.J. Brown and Smitty
Yep.
went to work.
Hurts
And they
won
coming
Super Bowl
back.
MVP off of it.
And they coming
know what I
back.
mean?
Exactly right.
That's why I'm saying, who made the gap? Because, I mean,
Rams.
we keep doing
I
the
like the
same
Rams.
thing.
Yeah, so for me, the only reason I say that, like, the Chiefs are the most consistent team in the last 7 years. Easily. Like,
But
every.
7 doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, but it does, though, Acho, because the
Hurts wasn't even in the league then.
The Eagles did it in 2022. Didn't make the playoffs in 23, and did it again in 2024, but they won one in 2024. I just want to see, this is a big year to see, like, hey, we're here to stay. Like, they didn't make the playoffs 2 years ago.
But don't you think
You know what I mean? They didn't make the playoffs in 2023.
Eagles? No,
Yeah.
lost to the Bucks.
They lost to the
1-1.
Bucks. Okay,
Yeah.
so they lost to, oh, yeah, they lost
Lost to the Bucks.
yeah.
But, like, don't at this point, if I'm looking at the Eagles' body of work the last 3 years, wouldn't you suggest they have stayed? Super Bowl,
14-3,
first round loss to the
11-6,
Bucks, but obviously AJ was hurt. And then Super Bowl win, like,
They have been, but when you look at the level of consistency to the Chiefs, they haven't been.
that's.
Well, nobody has
You know what I
been,
mean?
but at the same time, if the Chiefs, it's hard for me to get that out of my head the way the Chiefs got dominated.
Ooh.
Like there was
think they take a step
there
down
was
this
nothing
year?
working.
You think they take a step
I don't
down?
know how the Chiefs block.
And to
I
shade-
don't.
Even their best, though. So, like, Chase is right, but we're not talking about, like, who's the best team in the last 10 years. We're not talking about that. We're talking about right now. Do you watch boxing?
No.
You don't care for boxing? Do you watch boxing? You watch boxing?
Only when you tell me,
So,
yeah.
only when we'll be betting
There
on.
was a fight this weekend, right? Devin Haney.
Which one?
Really,
Oh,
really
yeah.
good fighter. Right now, couple what? Remember a year ago he fought Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, got
and
knocked
Ryan,
out.
they said that he was dirty, whatever.
Dirty,
but he whooped Devin Haney so
did.
bad,
He did.
whooped him. Now he was dirty and cheated, but he whooped him. He had a fight this weekend, and when I watched the fight, Devin was running around.
Yeah,
he wasn't
he
really
looked the same.
himself.
He
I'm
looked
like,
the
what
same.
the? And I said, oh, okay. When you get spanked and
Yes,
whooped
you
like
do. You're
that,
scared to throw punches. He only threw 60 punches?
Different.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, I hear what you're saying, but when the
Patrick
Chiefs,
Mahomes ain't that guy.
he's
He's
not.
gonna throw punches.
He's not. All I'm saying is, though, when they play the Eagles again, that
They don't match up well with the Eagles.
But I'm saying they don't just leave you though.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you ever played in the game and dude just. I never really had it done to me, but I play against like, these dudes are hitting. and it's in my mind though. It's in my mind. Not I'm scared, but it's in my mind. You think about it.
Yeah.
You telling me when them Eagles play them again, like, oh, Pat gonna be like, Pat's great. But he felt all that. He don't just throw picks out of just throwing picks.
Yeah,
He don't get smoked. I'm just getting smoked.
Yeah.
You don't think about that. So all I'm saying is, yes, I get what you're saying about the pass, and that is the pass, and that is great. And they are phenomenal. And Andy Reid's the greatest, and Patrick Mahomes is one of the greatest.
Yeah.
But as a team and collectively, you don't just forget that.
Sometimes it's just bad matchups, too. It's nothing
They
against
don't
the
match up
Chiefs.
well.
It's just they don't
The
match
Rams,
up well
though,
against the
the
Eagles.
Rams, I think, do.
No doubt about it. What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.